Half Moon Island is the first landing of our cruise that sailed off from Ushuaia, Argentina on December 3, 2019, and after navigating the Beagle Channel and the much dreaded rough seas of the Drake Passage for 2 days. Half Moon Island is a crescent-shaped island in the South Shetland Islands of the Antarctic Peninsula region. It is just 2 kilometers long and lies in the entrance of Moon Bay on the eastern side of Livingstone Island. Chinstrap penguins are so called due to the narrow black band under its head, which makes it appear as if it were wearing a black helmet. Its flippers are black with a white edge and has white inner sides. Its legs and feet are pink. Deception Island is a ring-shaped island on top of a volcano, a caldera. It is located in the South Shetland Islands, north of the Antarctic Peninsula. The caldera is 15 kilometers in diameter and has a narrow entrance on one side, called Neptune's Bellows. Through this spectacular passage, ships can sail into the flooded crater. Pendulum Cove is a small cove on the northeastern side of Deception Island. Its name was derived from the pendulum and magnetic observations made there by Henry Foster's expedition in 1829. Its flat, black sand beach is composed entirely of loose cinders with no soil, and its water is geothermally heated. Chilean research station, Presidente Pedro Aguirre Cerda Station, opened in 1955 but was unfortunately destroyed by volcanic eruptions in 1967 and 1969. Gentoo penguins are easily recognized by a wide white stripe that extends like a bonnet across the top of its head and its bright orange-red bill. It also has the most prominent tail of all penguin species. It is the third largest species of penguins, after the emperor and king penguins. It is also the fastest underwater swimmer of all penguins. Whalers Bay is a small bay on the southeastern side of Deception Island. It was so named because of its use by whalers in the early 20th century. It has a number of ruined buildings, which are the remains of a British research station, an old aircraft hangar, the Norwegian Hector whaling station, and several other derelict buildings. Orcas are the largest of all carnivores that are found in almost all oceans, from the tropics to the Arctic and Antarctic, where they will go deep into pack ice to hunt seals and penguins. They have a large black body, white underbelly, a water patch above and behind their eyes, and a gray patch behind their dorsal fins. They are toothed whales, but technically they belong to a family of dolphins. Horn Harbor is a cove 1 mile wide on the west side of the Antarctic Peninsula. It is well known for its beautiful shimmering glaciers, towering mountain peaks, and pure white ice and snow.
Sometimes I post there. Sometimes it can inspire people, to do the same thing. Yeah, that's the most important part. Pictures can capture those.
Janko Island is a small island in the middle of the beautiful Herrera Channel, about 1 mile long and 180 meters high. More than 2,000 pairs of breeding Gen 2 penguins occupy its slopes. is said that climbing to the top of the island for the views is one of the best things you can do in Antarctica. However, due to my intense fear of heights, I dared not.
Unser Museumreise für heute Nachmittag. Wir sind etwas hinter dem Schedule, also hinter dem Plan, etwa 30 Minuten. Wir werden gegen 3:30 anfangen, das Boot hochzuwassern. So wie wir bereit sind, werden wir sie dann entsprechend.
Naco Harbor lies on the eastern shore of Antwerp Bay, approximately 7 miles south of the Herrera Channel. Famous for its striking glaciers that make it a beautiful and inspiring setting, so much so that I was able to gather enough courage to climb up to at least the middle slope. Finally.
Hindi pala.
Na-conquer mo na.
Hindi pa masyado na.
One of the optional excursions offered in this cruise was overnight camping at Leith Cove. Considering its rather stiff price, an unadventurous guy like me would not fall for it. Imagine paying a huge sum of money just to be deprived and tortured. But after much careful thought and consideration, it was hard to pass on a once-in-a-lifetime chance to spend the night in Antarctica. I was lucky enough to be one of 30 participants chosen by lottery, who left the ship at around 8:30 p.m. and arrived at the cove around 20 minutes later. The first order of business was to set up our tents, and I was lucky that my tent mate was a deputy, so I just followed his lead. Afterwards, I set out to explore the cove, basically just sitting down and gazing intently at the beautiful scenery around me. It was so serene and quiet. The only noises I heard came from birds and the intermittent coving of icebergs. It was around 1 o'clock when I decided to try laying down inside the tent. I accidentally fell asleep for an hour though. Afterwards, I just sat outside the tent, transfixed by the awesomeness of my surroundings. The time just flew by fast. We were back at the ship by 8 a.m. just in time for breakfast. For someone who just had 1 hour's sleep, I still had the energy and the mood to carry on with the activities scheduled on that day. It was a truly exhilarating experience, and I'm very happy that I did it. A trip to the porta potty was an adventure unto itself, since it involved going down and up a very icy slope. Gonzales Videla Base is located at Waterboat Point in Paradise Bay and was named after Chilean President Gabriel González Videla, who became the first chief of staff of any nation to visit Antarctica in the 1940s. It was here that the first scientific study on penguin breeding was conducted. I was very uncomfortable going around due to the abundant presence of penguin droppings. Moreover, a Chilean military plane with 38 people on board crashed on its way here the day before, so we were instructed not to talk about it while on the base. So I got out as fast as we can. This Gentoo penguin does not fit in with the other penguins, since it lacked the same coloring as the others. It is not an albino penguin though. It just happened that it had lost some of its skin pigmentation. Gentoo and chin-strap penguins build their nest using rocks, stones, and pebbles to avoid a great loss of heat and rainwater pooling. Nests are built before mating and breeding. The bigger and more comfortable the nest is, the higher the chance of females to mate with the chosen males. Hence, fights and aggression can happen while collecting the stones, whenever penguins steal stones from neighboring nests to include in their nest. Snowshoeing was another optional excursion offered to us. Kayaking was the only one I was not able to take because it required participants to know how to swim. Snowshoes simply spread your weight over a larger surface, keeping you from bogging down the snow. With them, you can walk across snowfields, climb hills, cross glittering white plains that were totally out of reach before. Pristine, stunning, and awe-inspiring beauty of Antarctica truly made this the trip of my life. I finally set foot and even slept on my last continent and made it out in one happy and contented peace. I want to thank God for giving us such beauty here on earth and for giving me the opportunity to enjoy and savor it.